Jesus replied, "A certain man was preparing a great banquet, and he invited many guests. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who had been invited, 'Come, for everything is now ready.' But they all alike began to make excuses. The first said, 'I have just bought a field, and I must go and see it. Please excuse me.' Another said, 'I've just bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I'm on my way to try them out. Please excuse me.' And still another said, 'Well, I just got married, so I can't come.' So the invitation goes out to these people, and each of them makes an excuse as to why they can't come. And so sloth is on display. There's an opportunity for these people to experience a rich relationship with the host of the banquet, which is in Jesus' story representing God himself. But these people are stuck in their old routines, stuck in their habits, and so they end up choosing the lesser. In their minds, choosing to come to the banquet, get rid of their routines, this is just too much. And so they say yes to what is lesser, what is easy, at the cost of what is greater. Sloth gets even more deceptive. Maybe you've been in business and you've heard the parable of the 2 lumberjacks. You want to help me out with this?
Sure.
All right. There were 2 lumberjacks who had a...
My jacket, my sombrero, mariachi hat.
Sombrero?
It's a Mexican lumberjack.
Okay, Mexican lumberjack. All right. So they're going to have a competition, the 2 of them, and to see who can chop down more wood. And they start off the same, just feverishly chopping as much wood as they can. When at some point, lumberjack number 1 hears the other lumberjack take a 15-minute break. He thought, great, I've got the advantage. I'm just going to keep working. At the end of the second hour, lumberjack number 2 takes another 15-minute break. Of course, at the end of the day, lumberjack number 1 just thought, sure, he'd won the competition. He was astonished, though, to find out that lumberjack number 2 cut twice as much wood as lumberjack number 1.
What?
Because when lumberjack number 2 was taking those 15-minute breaks, he was sharpening his axe. It's okay. It'll be all right. So maybe you are feverishly doing a lot of activity, but are you doing the wise things? Are you doing the right things? Are you doing the smart things? Are you doing the things that are of the highest priority that God is calling you to do?
¿Qué pasaría si empezáramos a invertir nuestro tiempo, energía y recursos en esas cosas y siguiéramos luchando por cambiar paso a paso estos hábitos con el tiempo? Sí, el interés produce dividendos financieramente exponenciales, pero las acciones intencionales producen resultados exponenciales en nuestra vida. La procrastinación es una forma de pereza muy costosa. Empecemos hoy por nuestra salud, por nuestras relaciones, nuestras metas, nuestras finanzas y lo más importante, nuestra relación con Dios. El costo de esperar es mucho más alto que el costo de comenzar hoy mismo. Notamos lo que dijo el dueño de la casa, versículo 24, pues ninguno de mis primeros invitados probará ni una migaja de mi banquete. El dueño va a celebrar una fiesta, pase lo que pase. Va a tener casa llena y todos están invitados. Pero no le va a suplicar a la gente que está poniendo excusas para no venir. Si quieren pueden irse a su casa y cortarse las uñas si lo desean, ¿verdad? Pero la invitación tiene un tiempo limitado. La puerta de la oportunidad eventualmente se va a cerrar. En el 2000, Reed Hastings, el fundador de una pequeña empresa llamada Netflix, voló a Dallas para proponer una sociedad con el CEO de Blockbuster. La idea era que Netflix ejecutara la marca Blockbuster en línea y a su vez Blockbuster promocionaría Netflix en sus tiendas. Hastings se rió en la habitación. Blockbuster tenía una oportunidad, pero no iba a durar para siempre. Blockbuster quebró en el 2010 y Netflix es ahora una empresa de $228 millones. Otro ejemplo, another example. ¿Se acuerdan de esta alabanza? Do you remember this worship song? All you need is love. That's not a worship song. En 1972, la compañía disquera Decca tuvo una increíble oportunidad. Pudieron haber firmado con los Beatles, pero dejaron pasar la oportunidad. En cambio, firmaron a Brian Poole and the Tremolos. ¿Cuántas personas conocen ese grupo? Who are they? ¿Saben qué pasó? Decca asumió que los grupos de guitarra nunca serían un éxito. La puerta de la oportunidad no permanece abierta para siempre. Déjame preguntarte esto. ¿Cuál es nuestro algún día? Algún día que ya estén bien las cosas, dices. ¿Qué es esto que creemos que todavía estará allí esperándonos cuando estemos listos para buscarlos? Meditemos en el costo de nuestras elecciones que estamos haciendo el día de hoy. Trabajemos ahora, el día de hoy, para disfrutar de una gran recompensa en el futuro.
You'll notice that he invited everyone to the feast. He said, go out quickly into the streets and the alleys of the town and bring in the poor. How shocked they would have been to hear that. What, the poor? What place do they have at our table, much less the table of our God? No, you bring in the poor, you bring in the crippled, you bring in the blind, and you bring in the lame. And as we read Scripture, we also understand that God's heart is that He would bring in every race, every nation, every age, rich, poor, people who have been in church their entire lives, and people who just stumbled in today. God's heart is that all of us would know the love of Jesus.